Hello everyone, welcome back to Amy and Larry's Kitchen. Well, tonight we're going to try something that I have not tried before. I seen this recipe online and printed it out, and I thought it sounded pretty good. It's called Southern Blueberry Dessert Dumplings. That right there by itself makes my mouth water. Now, what we're going to do is we're going to be making a blueberry mixture, and we're going to put dumplings in it. Sounds good, almost like chicken and dumplings, except it's going to be a fruity dumpling. Now, the first thing it says to do is, and we'll put all the ingredients and stuff down at the description section of the video when this is done, so that you can use the amount that you want to. We, as usual, don't always follow exactly what the amount of the ingredients call for. We just kind of use our own judgment and make our own batch. So the first thing it says is, in a large bowl, combine blueberries, which I've got a bag here of blueberries. The recipe actually calls for a quart. I have a feeling this is going to be probably 2 quarts, but I hate to open up a bag of blueberries and not use them all. So we're just going to experiment. I'm sure it ain't going to taste bad no matter what we do to it. And we're just going to dump those right into the pot. That's got to be at least 2 quarts, is what I figure. The package itself is about 2 pounds of blueberries, and these come out of the great state of Florida, which is my home state, before I moved up here to wild and wonderful West Virginia. That's what they call it. Alright. I need to put 1.5 cups of sugar, it says. So, because I'm using a little bit more than blueberries than what it originally called for, I'm just going to go ahead and say I'm going to use 2 cups of sugar. And it looks like a lot of sugar, but if you ever made jelly or anything, you know how much sugar it takes to make something like that. So there's 1 cup, and we're going to add 1 more cup. I'm sure it will be just fine. If you hear our little dog in the background, she's just having a blast while we're preparing this dessert. Alright, now it also calls for 2 cups of water, so I'm probably going to put 3 cups. Alright, there's the first one. And here's the second one. And here's the third one. Alright, now what we're going to do is mix this up a little bit. We're going to turn this eye on, and we're going to bring it up to a boil, so that will take a minute. But right now I'm going to stir this up, get it going. These blueberries can either be fresh or frozen. These just happen to be frozen, which is no problem because you're going to be cooking them in the pot anyway. So we're going to let those continue to cook, and while we do that, we are going to start making the dumpling mixture. Now it says in a medium bowl we need to put some flour, and let me just see here how much flour it calls for. 2 cups. So we may put 2.5 cups or whatever. Like I said, we're just kind of playing this by ear. Here's my flour. And I'm going to take my little Tupperware scoop here. And, whoops, yeah, make sure I put it in the right pot. There's 1 cup. And there's 2 cups. Yeah, we'll just put another half a cup in there. I think we'll be okay that way. So there's our flour. And 2 tablespoons of sugar. Here's the first one. The second one, I think I'm going to go 2 1/2. Since we're making a little more than what it originally calls for. Alright.
Baking powder.
We need some baking powder. See what it calls for there. Like I said, this is the first time we've made it, so we're having to go by the
2 teaspoons.
2 tablespoons, 2 teaspoons, which is 1 tablespoon of baking powder. So we'll put just maybe just a smidgen more than that. Alright, so this is the equivalent of 2 teaspoons. And we'll make it 1 more. So that's 3. Like I said, you ain't got to be exact. We'll get this out of the way, put it up. Alright, baking powder,
Salt.
a little bit of salt. You know how that goes with the salt. They always tell you to add salt to a recipe. So that I'm just going to, let's see, salt.
A 4 teaspoon.
4 teaspoons. I'm just not even going to measure that. I'm just going to throw a little in there, just like that. I know there's a reason for the salt, but I've always wondered sometimes why you put just so little salt in there.
Mixing your berries.
Uh-huh.
Or stirring your berries.
Yeah, I thought I'd stir the berries up. I can feel the heat coming from the eye, so it'll take them a few minutes to come to a boil. Now, we need
Cut the butter.
to get some butter, and I believe it's 1 cup of butter. Salt. It says cold butter. We're going to use this Blue Bonnet here, and I'm just going to scoop it right out and put it in here. And then we need to cut it into the dumpling mixture. Get 1 more pretty good sized batch. And I'll just dump that right in there like that. And then we'll take this, dump that in, and start just kind of mixing this up all together. Now, I'm going to have to put a little milk in this too in a few minutes, after I get this butter kind of mixed in a little bit. I'll have to see how much milk it takes. Huh? That's right, you can say. I know whenever you're making biscuits or regular dumplings, mixing this butter in is usually pretty critical, because you want to try and get it spread all around as much as possible. Turn this fan on. Alright, let me see what it says here for the recommended amount of milk for the dumplings. 1/2 cup of milk, so we're probably going to put a little bit more than 1/2 cup. Since I put a little bit more flour in this batter than what the recipe calls for. Kind of wipe this down. Alright, let's pour a little. I'm going to put about 1.5 cups of milk in there. That's 1 cup. And we'll try 1/2, see how that does. We're going to mix this up again with the milk and butter. Get this all mixed in well together so that we can eventually drop this batter into the blueberries as they are boiling. Now this one here, you know, take your time. You don't need to rush. You want to make sure that this is all mixed in real good. And will I use all of this? I don't know. We'll have to see. Sometimes it's based on the size of your pot, how much room you've got left, but we're going to drop the dumplings in the blueberries until we feel like we've got plenty. Now, let me just double check as I'm making up the dumplings. Okay, there's nothing much left else to do. We're still waiting for our mixture here to come to a boil. And like I said, we'll after it comes to a boil, we'll drop the dumplings in there and let them begin to cook. They say to drop the dumplings in there kind of hurriedly, or so you can get them all in there in time. While we're waiting for the blueberries to come to a boil and everything, I think we're going to take a break and come back. I assume it'll be part 2 of the video, and I'll show you when I put the dumplings into the mixture, what that looks like, and we might even wind up with a part 3 when this is done, because this whole thing only takes maybe 30 minutes at the most to cook, but we don't want to sit here, I know, and just watch the blueberries until they start boiling. So we'll be back in just a few minutes and we'll show you the part 2.